3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With ORRETT Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, ORRETT Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the first day of September 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands in the United States. They celebrate their Labor Day today as well. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle. Schools are now open, so our youngsters, our school children, will be traveling to school. Some may be walking to school, others may be riding their bikes to school, others may be riding a bus or being transported by family members or friends to school as well. So we want to be extremely cautious out there. We need to ensure that we protect our most valuable resource that we have here in the Cayman Islands, our young people as well. So please do so, and also remember, quite possibly the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that, for the record, birthday shout-outs are brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We do hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a happy, a speedy recovery as well, and a big shout out again to our colleague here at Radio Cayman, none other than Mr. Joel Wilson. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the distinct pleasure and honor of being your host. My name is ORRETT Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. We have a WhatsApp number that is provided courtesy of Flo. That number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. We have a WhatsApp number, 925-3261, where we can accommodate one caller at a time, but you can also send us messages or questions as well. So, first of all, let's look at our birthday shout-outs again. Coca-Cola, proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. So we'll look back at some of the birthdays that were celebrated last week. On the 29th, Mr. Ronnie Anglin celebrated his birthday. Also on the 29th, Kathy Sparks, co-colonel, celebrated birthday as well. And on the 30th, Darlene Robinson celebrated a birthday, as well as Aloni Bernard also celebrating a birthday on the 30th. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please send those details to us. And, of course, we will give them a shout-out right here on For the Record, brought to you by courtesy of Coca-Cola, which is available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. I want to let you know that we will have guests in the studio with us after the 8 o'clock news, and the guests in the studio will be Minister Myles. You heard him on Friday refer to the fact that he would be back on For the Record this morning. So Minister Myles, who is responsible for Caymanian employment and immigration. Also, we will have in the studio with us Deputy Premier and Minister, the Honorable Gary Rutty, who has responsibility for tourism and trade. And we will have the President of the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, Miss Sharlene Brenkus. She's the President of the CITA. They will be in the studio, and they will be talking about special event that is will be taking place on the 8th and the 9th of this month. You will get more information about that as well, but it is an event that's taken place over a 2-day period, and this here is a release issued, and I'll share this with you, and they will be talking more about it as well. Tourism and Hospitality Open House announced. So it will be 2 days of events. The first day, the 8th, that will be by invite only. And on the 9th of September, the Ministry of Caymanian Employment and Immigration, in partnership with the Cayman Islands Tourism Association and Workforce Opportunities and Residency Cayman, known by the acronym WORK, WORC, they're pleased to invite Caymanians to attend a tourism and hospitality open house on Tuesday, the 9th of September 2025 at the Grand Cayman Marriott Resort. This event will run from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. and will provide participants with valuable insight into the diverse career opportunities within the tourism and hospitality sector. A highlight of the event will be an orientation session led by the Cayman Islands Tourism Association that focuses on career pathways and progression opportunities within the industry. And I'm going to pause there for a second because we have heard the minister speak to the fact that, his focus is going to be on careers, not just employment, but career opportunities in tourism as well. So the a highlight of the event will be an orientation led by the CITA that focuses on career pathways and progression opportunities within the industry. Attendees will learn that a career in tourism and hospitality goes far beyond traditional roles such as room service or bartending, and also includes opportunities in areas such as finance, information technology, human resources, engineering, and much more. Caymanian attendees can expect to be enlightened about the various opportunities available. Following the orientation session, an open forum will give Caymanian job seekers the opportunity to connect directly with employers who are actively recruiting for various positions across the sector. The Cayman Islands Tourism Association has indicated that hoteliers and tourism-related businesses are eager to engage with Caymanian candidates, and a strong turnout is expected. I pause there again just to say that the indication from Minister Myles is that we expect to have somewhere up to 450 persons attending the 2-day session. Remember, the first day is going to be by invitation only. The event on the 9th of September is open to Caymanians, permanent residents with the right to work, Caymanian status holders, and those persons who possess a residency and employment rights certificate known by the acronym RERC. The release goes on to point out that the ministry has allocated spaces for 450 Caymanian job seekers to participate in the open house. Eligible individuals are strongly encouraged to register and take advantage of this opportunity to explore real and rewarding career paths within Cayman's world-class tourism and hospitality industry. Of course, folks, please bear in mind that registration is required. So you have to register in order to be eligible to attend. Refreshments will be provided. You can register today at www.surveymonkey.com/R YNW68JN. Now, I know that is a lot for you to remember at one point. So, more information in relation to a QR code that will be available that allows you to register as well. We're going to talk some more about this because when the minister, deputy premier, as well as the representative, the president of the Cayman Islands Hotel and Tourism Association are in the studio, they will be speaking exclusively to this event taking place over a 2-day period as well. And there's some more information that I can share with you about this tourism and hospitality open house. I will do so as soon as we return from this commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Royal James Anderson, 1923-1991.
Royal Anderson was born in Jamaica and came to Grand Cayman at the age of 3 with his parents, Isaiah and Oriana Anderson. He served in the Home Guard during World War II and spent some time at sea with national bulk carriers. In 1950, he married Garnell Frederick, with whom he had 7 children. He joined the Cayman Islands Police Force in 1953 as a constable and later rose to the position of inspector. Royal retired in 1976 and a year later was given the Colonial Police Long Service and Good Conduct Award. He joined Cayman Airways as store inventory controller, moving after 2 years to the security guards force at Owen Roberts Airport, where he remained until 1984. He then was hired as security guard at the Government Administration Building, where he worked until his death. He loved to sing and was an active member of the Bordentown United Church.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report is brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
And by Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Village. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now at stores island-wide.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. 8 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. After the 8 o'clock news, we will have the Deputy Premier, Honorable Gary Rutty, in the studio, along with Minister Myles and the President of the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, talking about events taking place on the 8th and 9th of September at the Marriott Hotel. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But we have a birthday greeting that we need to shout out here, we need to point out. So we see that Mr. Vernal Ebanks celebrating his birthday today. He will be 99 years of age today. And birthday greetings are coming from his loving family. So Mr. Vernal Ebanks, happy birthday, happy 99th birthday to you, sir. And I am also told that he is the only living survivor from the Majestic tragedy. And those of you who know our history would know the story of the Majestic as well, and the loss of the Majestic. So the only living survivor from the Majestic tragedy, Mr. Vernal Ebanks, celebrating his 99th birthday today, and happy birthday greetings all coming from his entire family as well. Okay, folks, so, we do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Don't want to leave them out of it. That's why we call it a talk show to a certain extent. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C., and good morning to everyone.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir, I'm okay, and I would like to say happy birthday greetings to my grandson, Ander, who celebrates his third birthday today. He is 3 years old today.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
In Grand Cayman, though, he is there and not in the BRAC. He's in Grand Cayman. And also belated birthday greetings to my daughter, Angelina, who celebrated her birthday on the 24th of August. And also happy birthday to that gentleman at 99 years old, and wish him many more years. That's a great year to be celebrating, 99 years. Happy birthday to him and all the others.
Right, that's Mr. Vernon Lee Banks.
Yes, and we had a sad weekend in the BRAC with 2 funerals during the weekend. That's not a usual thing, and I attended both of them and made speeches and tributes. We had Miss Julianne McLaughlin. She was the owner of the restaurant in Spot Bay and a great lady. Hers was on the Saturday and one again yesterday for a Jamaican gentleman that worked with Scott Development. So we had 2 funerals for the weekend.
Okay, well, our condolences. We extend our condolences to those family members as well. Caller, thank you very much. We're going to try to grab another caller before we go to our 8 o'clock news, unless there's something else that you want to say before we go. Oh, okay. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Hey, morning. How art thou?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, I got a little proposal here.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if it's going to be controversial or what, but I'll see going around the island and seeing people enjoying, like work permit people enjoying the island. They can just walk up to the volleyball court, turn on the lights and play, and the lights are on until 12 o'clock sometime, nobody on the court. Same thing at the basketball, at the football fields. They do the same thing. These are things, so see, they cannot do back home. Let's get that straight. So we're not depriving them of anything. They can go to the beach that they don't have to pay for, not like where they come from. They have to pay to enter the beach. They have to pay if they want a chair. They got to pay additional if they want a cabana. So this is not something we're depriving them of.
Mm-hmm.
They mess up the beach. They throw the garbage down. I walk the beach. I can tell you, the public beach especially like this morning, pack up because of the weekend with the garbage right on the ground, right? Because and there's various alcohol bottles, you know. So it's a party actually.
Mm-hmm.
Just gone there as a family. So all these things, nice roads. They can go just about anywhere. So I'm thinking, why don't we attach a $500 fee to each work permit that is paid by the employee, not the employer. The employer already responsible for the work permit.
Mm-hmm.
So before the employee can get the work permit stamp in his passport, he must pay a $500 for that year. 35,000 work permit holders, that would bring us in probably a total of like 17.5 million.
Mm-hmm. And that would be for enjoying any amenities?
Right, yeah, that is, we can call it community fee or infrastructure, something like infrastructure fee.
Mm-hmm.
That can be paid for cleaning up their mess,
mm-hmm.
Paying the light bill of the different sporting facilities they use and cleaning it, cleaning our graveyards, paying the light bill and water bill for those places that runs up a tab sometime of $10,000 per month. So that could be called like a I would say community or infrastructure fee, and that'll take care of all that. You see what I mean?
Yep.
Because right now we got to foot all those bills. You see, that's just for somebody who's working here that have access to just go and do whatever. They can also go. Some of them go and fill up their van with water. To do the car washing and the like. So we need to bring in. I would suggest a fee like that, like $500.
Okay. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
because we're trying to recoup and trying to save the government some money. I mean, we see some cities. I think New York has implemented it. I believe possibly London, as well, where they have this sort of impact fee. If you want to drive into the city, you pay a particular fee, for the privilege to do that because of the impact that you have there. So not a bad idea.
Yeah, because we don't even have no road that have a toll. It's just free for all. That's what it seems like to me. Free for all, and the government have to foot all the bills.
Yep.
All the bills the government have to foot, okay. and then we complain.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lord Graham. Yeah. Thank you very much. Going to our 8 o'clock news. When we return, we will have guests in the studio. We will tell you what the rules of the road will be. Once our guests are in the studio, want to cover some things first. But I'm sure that they will be amenable also to opening the phone lines at some point in time. With that, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is a minute after 8.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
Covering Little Cayman, Kim and Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A child is recovering after a weekend stabbing. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says around 10:15 on Saturday, emergency responders were sent to a report of a, quote, serious stabbing in a home on Doubletree Lane, which is just east of Spots. Police were told a man and woman were fighting when a, quote, juvenile male tried to intervene and was attacked by the man, who left the boy with stab wounds and cuts on his face and body. The suspect took off but later turned himself into police, where he was arrested on suspicion of wounding with intent. The boy was treated for serious but non-life-threatening injuries and later released from the hospital. In other police news, a 37-year-old has been busted for cocaine. Around 7:30 on Friday, officers searched a home on Kennedy Drive in Georgetown, leading to the man's arrest on suspicion of possession of cocaine, possession with intent to supply, and consumption. Police also found jewelry that they suspected of being stolen, and the man was subsequently arrested separately in relation to that. He remains in custody for the drug-related offenses and is expected to appear in court later today. After the recent purchase of land around Cayman Brack's historic lighthouse, the National Coalition for Caymanian's administration has snagged land near another lighthouse, this time in West Bay.
The lighthouse is the highest point in the district of West Bay. Government has been looking at this land for a long time. There's been a lot of promises made, but we've never been able to secure it. I'm happy for the role my ministry had today in terms of finding the actual capital to do it, and for all my colleagues for supporting the transfer of that capital to the Ministry of Lands.
In a Facebook post, Minister for Economic Development, the Honorable Rolston Anglin, was joined by members of the Hydes family, the previous owners of the land, and fellow West Bay MPs, including Premier the Honorable Andre Ebanks, as the group marked the official close of the NCFC's, quote, latest strategic land purchase off Bosun Bay Road.
Thank the Hydes family again, but in particular, we know you could have had a purchase to the private sector, which sometimes can move faster than government. Credit to your family for recognizing the opportunity for the country and that this lands in the hands of the Crown. Thank you, caucus colleagues, all of you. We couldn't have done it without you.
The post did not mention the cost of the purchase. And the Department of Environmental Health is hosting a food hygiene handler certification session in the BRAC tomorrow. As Radio Cayman's Jevi Ebanks reports, training is open to individuals who've never been certified and those whose certification is set to expire.
The sessions will take place from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the UCCI Cayman BRAC campus, located at Avistair Building, on West End. It includes a short exam. Certifications are valid for 3 years and it's mandatory for anyone involved in the preparation or sale of food. Failure to comply may result in disqualification from food handling roles or related events. Spaces are limited to 25 participants and interested individuals must register by contacting the DEH Caymanbrac office at 948-2321. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Justine Green. Rescuers in Afghanistan are struggling to reach villages in remote mountainous areas after a powerful earthquake. The Taliban official said at least 800 people had died and more than 2,500 injured in the provinces of Kunar and Nangarhar. European Central Bank chief says it would be a serious danger for the world economy if Donald Trump were to undermine the independence of the US Federal Reserve. President Trump has threatened to sack the head of the US Central Bank for not cutting interest rates. Residents in Gaza City say vehicles packed with explosives have been sent into parts of the Sheikh Radwan district and blown up remotely. Videos show Palestinians fleeing the outskirts in cars, carts and tractors as the Israeli army continues its push into the city. Russia has been accused of sabotage after the GPS navigation system on a plane carrying the head of the European Commission failed. Ursula von der Leyen was en route to Bulgaria. The pilot was forced to land using ground-based navigation. The leaders of China, India and Russia have been presenting a united front at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in northern China. The Indian leader was shown holding hands with Vladimir Putin and sharing jokes with the Chinese president. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Caymanbrac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. The club continues to host successful community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, free site screening in schools, spelling bee, swim meets, and their community pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service for many years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 86 degrees. Relative humidity is 77%. The barometric pressure is 29.93 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 5 knots. Overnight low was 83. Synopsis indicate a stationary front lingering across Florida alongside a weak tropical wave across Jamaica will allow for some isolated showers later this afternoon into the evening as moisture associated with the frontal boundary digs south through today and interacts with this wave when it becomes south of the Cayman area later this afternoon. Radar imagery show a few showers, mainly near the sister islands of Caymanbrac and Little Cayman, moving towards the west-southwest. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for mainly sunny skies with some partly cloudy spells and a 30% chance of late afternoon showers with possible thunder, and temperatures will be in the low 90s, with a heat index near 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Tonight, partly clear skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures falling near the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 knots or less, becoming light and variable at times. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Low tide will be this morning at 6 minutes past 11. High tide this evening at 6:41. The sun will set this evening at 6:38 and will rise tomorrow morning at 11 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for a continued decrease in winds and seas through tomorrow afternoon, eventually becoming light and variable as the pressure gradient continues to weaken as a stationary front lingers across central Florida. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. Should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC has given us some trouble. Sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on!
We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Britcay. Good like that.
It's a ladies' night of comedy at the Laughter Lounge. Who runs the World Edition? Miss Jin from Jacksonville, Amber James from Indianapolis, and Ginny G from Los Angeles by way of Chicago take over the mic for non-stop punchlines. Friday, September 5th at the Hawkwell Theater. Doors open at 7 p.m. with the show starting at 8 p.m. sharp. Round up your crew and secure seats. Tickets available at laughcayman.com. Presented by Executive Services with Heineken Zero and Appleton. Keeping the vibes right. Big energy, bigger laughs. Buy your tickets now before they're gone. Brought to you in part by Radio Cayman.
Start. Stop. That's how long it takes to react to a child crossing the street. How long would it take you to apply the brakes? How long would it take the parents to forgive you? How long would it take you to forgive yourself? Slow down. Save a life. Not only theirs, but your own. Texting, speeding, and ignoring safety rules can cost lives. Visit gov.ky/road safety to learn more and help keep our roads safe.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look this time at what's happening on the pavement. Shamrock Road and Rex Crichton Boulevard flowing at a moderate pace in both directions. Further down, a little different story as traffic is steadier on the Linford Pearson Highway and steady traffic coming off of the Esley Tibbetts Highway and off of Bobby Thompson Way, as well as off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. Delays expected. As we look to Crew Road, traffic is moving on steadily and into Georgetown on Shedden Road, not looking too bad as traffic flowing at a moderate pace. Edward Street, light to moderate traffic flow, as well as on the Owen Roberts Drive and coming from the West Bay 4-way stop. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing at a good pace in both directions. If you've seen accidents or incidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
Yummy.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
It's a sizzling summer with JN Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with JN Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with JN Money.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
For the record, with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As I promised, we do have guests in this studio with us. We'll be talking about an event that will be taking place over a 2-day period. That conversation will take place with the Honorable Gary Rutty, Deputy Premier and Minister for Tourism and Trade. Also in the studio with us, Honorable Myles, the Minister with Constitutional Responsibility for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Chief Officer, Mr. Strand Borden, and Miss Sharlene Brenkus, pronouncing that right? Miss Sharlene Brenkus, who's the current president of the Cayman Islands Tourism Association. Folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Ossie.
Okay. We're going to have the Deputy Premier, if we go in terms of rank, we'll have the Deputy Premier open up, with some remarks. Then we're going to have the Honorable Minister Myles add some comments. I've also asked the President, Ms. Brenkus, to, when introducing herself, to talk a little bit about the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, its mandate, what it is involved with in the Cayman Islands as well. So starting with you, Deputy Premier. Good morning, sir. Welcome back.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. Thank you very much for having us. And good morning, Cayman. Happy September. These months are going by a lot faster than I thought they were going to go.
Aren't they? Yes.
But when good things are happening, time starts to fly. It's an honour and a privilege to be here with my colleague, Minister Myles, and also my CEO, Strand Biden, and Ms. Brenkus from the Cayman Islands Tourism Association. We're here today to talk about, the tourism and hospitality open house that we're having, a job fair, and it is Tuesday all day, Mr. Myles.
Yes, and Monday, but the Monday is for the 200 people who have signed up previously.
Beautiful. It's all about getting our fellow Caymanians in the hospitality industry and the other industries that there's opportunities here for them, and getting everybody to work in producing a good tourism product for our visitors.
Certainly. Thank you very much, DP, for that. Minister Myles?
Yes, this is exciting times to collaborate with the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, a renewed effort and certainly partnership. One of the mandates that I've been given since being elected is ensuring that Caymanians are moving in different directions. And one of those directions is transition back to the tourism industry. Our responsibility now is to figure out how that looks, and a major part of that is partnering with the industry. I've met with CITA, and we've outlined how we want to partner. That looks very different from how it has been over the last 15, 20 years. I have no motivation or aspiration of making this hard. This must be easier for our people to transition, and with 600 plus jobs coming in line by the end of this year, our responsibility now is to ensure that Caymanians are put in a position where they can continue to be on the front lines of our tourism product. Certainly partnering with the Ministry of Tourism and Trade is a significant bonus in this. But over the next, I would say 6 to 8 months, our responsibility as the Ministry of Caymanian Employment is to ensure that our industries are diversified, that we are making it easier, that work doesn't become or continue to be this just about work permits. We are shifting away from that. The Ministry of Caymanian Employment is as is. It is about employment. And immigration, while is part of our ministry, isn't the ministry, isn't the focus. Collecting work permit fees is not the focus of the ministry. Getting Caymanians back to work is. So our goal going forward for the next 4 years is going to be the push of diversifying all industries, from the tourism industry, certainly to banking, finance, and accounting and everything else. So we are reaching out to as many partners as possible. And I believe that tourism is now in a position where the government must start to not just throw money in terms of marketing, but also ensuring that our people are trained and are put in a position where they can lead the tourism market going forward.
Okay, and over to Ms. Brenkus, and I'm going to preface what she says with this. I'm a big fan of the Trade Winds newspaper, which goes back a long way. I think it was started in the Cayman Islands in 1964. Only last month, I shared an article, and that would have been in the August of 1966, 65 or 66. The then Cayman Islands Tourism Association, or what was in place at that point in time, in collaboration with a class that had been set up by Timothy Emmanuel Macfield. We knew him as Teacher Macfield. And it was called the Evening Institute. They had classes for training in the hotel service. And at the end of that course, the announcement was made that all those persons who had completed the course would, if not immediately, at some point in time, be employed in the tourism industry. Mr. Rutty Seltzer, of course, quite prominent in our tourism sector here in the Cayman Islands, as well. He helped to head that up. And I'm just saying that to use that as an example of the involvement of the Tourism Association at that point in time in training up Caymanians, but not only training them up, but also guaranteeing that they would have a job at the end of the day. So with that, Ms. Brenkus, I'd like you to talk about your association, what your mandate is, and what the future looks like for you and the Cayman Islands.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Connor. That's a wonderful lead-in, by the way. Hospitality and tourism are for many destinations the pillar of and foundation of really highlighting and showcasing that destination, and what people are looking for are authentic experiences. Mm-hmm. And what makes those experiences authentic are the people. And I'm going to take this back just to talk a little bit about what CITA's about, sure. Who we are. Mm-hmm. The Tourism Association encompasses a pretty diverse membership. What I'm often having to explain is that we're more than just hospitality, just hotels. We represent hotels. We have members that are in water sports and dive, the restaurant sector, experiences, transportation, and our membership is pretty robust as far as all of the different touch points that are part of the tourism experience. Mm-hmm. For us as an organization, we really are working with where the board of directors encompasses all of those sectors. And as such, our objective is really to have a director in each of those disciplines to ensure that we are communicating and up to date as it relates to what the needs are of the industry, what challenges we're faced with, so that we can, on a work collaboratively to find solutions to those problems or challenges. We're also here, obviously, to, from a stakeholder perspective, is to work with all of the government entities to ensure that everything that we represent is properly represented within the country, because it takes a village, right? As you're raising children, it takes a village. It's not just one profile that we're representing. And so as such, we're ecstatic that, the lines of communication with the new government are open. Mm-hmm. We're sitting down, we're having conversations. We're not always necessarily going to agree, but the heart is in the right place. We are all looking to do the right thing. And when it comes down to, this being kind of our first initiative, we couldn't have asked for a better time from the perspective that there's some new hotel openings. We're getting ready for season. So there is a lot of opportunity at this point in time. And, I've had several conversations with Minister Myles from the perspective that, we really don't understand in this day and age how to get past the stigma that tourism is not interested in putting Caymanians first as it relates to job opportunities. And that is not the case. I can sit here and I can tell you there are internship programs that are in place, as it relates to, the Kimpton, Indigo, Hampton Inn. They've got a fairly robust, and it's kind of a bit of a trial and error type of deal in terms of how we are developing those programs again to get Caymanians interested and trained for career for a career path, not just a job. From the perspective of CITA, we also this year we launched our first internship program, which again very collaborative. A lot of different we had restaurants, hotels, and whatnot, and our focus was really again to start to introduce the industry early. And we have also been invited to sit and have conversations with the Minister of Education in terms of how do we do a better job at promoting the tourism industry early on and making it a viable thought process for Caymanians to want to be part of the tourism industry as they are considering their educational pathways and then coming back and working with us.
Okay, that's a good point for us to take a commercial break. When we return, we haven't heard from Mr. Strandbaden yet, but we will hear from him as well. Just want to set some ground rules in the meantime, a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions or comments, please send them to our WhatsApp number. That number is 925-3261. We would ask you at this point in time to please restrict it to the topic that is being discussed. The focus, for the first segment of this show is going to be on the events that are taking place on the 8th and the 9th of this month. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit Cineco.ky for a quote. That's Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, let me remind you that it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Deputy Premier and Minister Gary Rutty, Minister Michael Myles, the President of the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, Miss Sharlene Brenkus, and Chief Officer in the Ministry of Tourism and Trade, Mr. Strandbaden. And we haven't heard yet from Mr. Strandbaden. So, Mr. Baden, anything you want to add to what the previous speakers have said?
Thank you, Mr. Connor, and good morning to everyone. Good morning to the listening public. This morning is, as all the speakers have said, quite a momentous occasion that we're here to promote the Tourism and Hospitality Open House. Ministry of Tourism is about creating awareness of the Cayman Islands and driving visitation here. But what we're going to talk about today is how we make that, all those efforts and spend benefit Caymanians and benefit Caymanians through employment. That's why we have tourism here, to get a benefit for our Caymanian people, to keep them gainfully employed and have them productive citizens in this country. So I'm very excited about this show today to talk about the event that will be happening next week on September 8th and 9th.
Okay, Minister Myles, I'm going to throw the mic over to you, sir.
Well, I just want to make sure that the listening public understand, because I know the apprehensions. I've heard it, I've lived it as a person who's coming from a training element and training up Caymanians. We have all seen the challenges of getting Caymanians within the hospitality sector. Caymanians are motivated in that to go into that sector for a nucleus amounts of reasons. What we're doing this time is looking at it different. I have, as I said to Sharlene and her team, I want to do it different because I don't think that our folks understand what all the benefits are, and we need to start to outline what the benefits are of the tourism industry overall, and not looking at simply you're going to be a server or a bartender. I've heard this for years, and it's not just from the industry itself, but I've heard it from political leaders and other folks within the community at large. Every time we talked about or even discussed the tourism industry, we end up only talking about a few positions within the industry. Mm-hmm. And we only talk about hotels. We don't, as Sharlene rightfully said, we don't talk about the water sports industry. We don't talk about the restaurant industry. We don't talk about transportation. Mm-hmm. We simply only talk about housekeeping, bartending, or becoming a server. And I believe that we need to go beyond that. So what we've put into this particular drive or orientation, as what we're calling it, is that I've supported Sharlene and her team in looking at educating young people about what that industry looks like. So therefore, there are going to be sessions about pathways. Mm-hmm. As a former trainer, in terms of job career pathways, I believe that if we continue to let our people know exactly what those pathways are, I believe that there's going to be an uptick within the industry. I worked in the tourism industry, and I'm a social worker. After leaving a number of different, after leaving the Department of Social Services, going into foster care, just getting burnt out in that, I transitioned to the Hyatt Hotel. And I went in as a human resources assistant. And as I said, I have a 4-year degree in human services. I went in as a social work, as an admin assistant in the human resources, and within 6 months, I was a manager within the HR department. There's so many different types of opportunities, and this is what I've always said to a lot of young people. You don't have to be a server within the industry. You can go into finance, you can go into HR, you can go into IT, engineering, and a plethora of other areas. There are senior leaders, there are middle management, there are supervisors. So there are a lot of different aspects of it, of the industry that we want to make sure that we tease out this time around. So this is not going to be just a regular recruitment drive. This is also going to be an opportunity for the tourism industry and its delegates to start to get young people to understand where those pathways are. How do they get from point A to point B? Sharlene and her team have outlined, such as you start off as a bellman. Here's where that transition to the rest of rooms could go. If you start off as a bartender, housekeeper, an intern, here's where you can transition to. I think that that's important at this point in time within what we're trying to do, because if we don't do that, what people get stuck with is that I simply want a job, and then they get one and then they hate it. And that's what I have seen over the last 8 years of just simply doing training. So the goal is now is let's stop talking about jobs. Let's start talking about different pathways to a career. Once after 2 years of working at the Hyatt here, my family moved back to Louisville, Kentucky. I was fortunate enough that I was working for the Hyatt Hotel, and most hotels now are pretty much chain hotels. I transitioned to the Hyatt Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky, and I continued working. The wonderful part about it is that because half of my job at the Hyatt here was in accounting, because of me doing payroll, I was able to transition to the Hyatt in Louisville into the accounting department. And again, as I've expressed to people, I'm a social worker and I was working in the accounting department. I was trained, as I transitioned, I was trained to do that job. So there's a plethora of things of what we want to do. And as I've shared with all industries, not just the tourism industry, the goal for us going forward in the Ministry of Caymanian Employment is to guide young people in pathways, and let's stop talking about jobs, because every job leads to some level of a career later on, but you need to start from somewhere.
Okay. Now, can we talk a little bit about the event? And one of the big challenges is managing expectations. Yep. And I have, in my role as a member of one of the boards, I have heard of instances where persons have attended similar events, may have left their resume, may have completed an application form, and they say, I've never heard anything back from anyone after that. How do we assure those persons that we're trying to attract to this, understanding that the first day is invite only for 250 persons, yep. And then after that it's through a registration process. How do we assure participants that it's going to be worth their while?
You want to take that?
Sure. Well, so it is, we're taking a very structured approach to these 2 days. From a participation standpoint, as far as, the organizations that will be participating, we have not only is everyone registered, so we have a lot of information going into the events. Mm-hmm. So we are also requiring all of the organizations that are participating in also providing, it's a bit of a vetting system from the perspective of what we're hoping to do is you walk into the first session of the event, you have we're providing an overarching orientation of the different disciplines within the tourism sector. And what we're hoping to achieve by explaining that is that it will give the participants a better idea of what might be a good fit for them, mm-hmm. from a personality standpoint, from an interest perspective, and then they then have the floor open to them to meet with the potential employers with the positions that are open. So matching the candidates to the potential employers is the most important piece. As far as the communication piece, we are tracking every single candidate, and the objective is, whether it is the objective is to ensure that we are communicating post-event, whether it's through work, whether it's through the employers themselves. But the intention is, again, we have narrowed down these specific individuals. We know exactly who they are that they're attending, and the objective is to ensure that there's a complete follow-through from beginning to end. So
there will be some sort of central coordinator in terms of your various memberships, because, otherwise, you don't know what one location is doing or what the other is doing unless there is some central coordination.
So every candidate will basically have a very short brief or mm-hmm. bio, mm-hmm. and at the end of the event, that will be turned into the work team.
And the work team will... Oh, you're talking about WORC.
WORC, yes.
WORC, okay, yes. Okay. But how do you address the issues when they then reach the point of the particular entity, say whatever hotel, and their HR are now looking at these applications? Because that seems to be where the bone of contention may be in terms of their applications, Caymanians' applications, getting a fair shot.
Well, I mean, in terms of, so every organization has their list of open positions. what we are imparting upon everyone is to ensure that there is a communication, whether it's a yes or a no, whether it's a next step. The intention is the objective of the event is to basically do a pre-screen and then move that process through to follow-up interviews. And obviously matching those candidates to the employers. It really comes down to communication, right? And I believe that there isn't anyone that is going into this event without a commitment to ensuring that we are communicating properly and in a timely manner. We have a very we are, from an industry perspective, we're gearing up for high season. Right. So there is a timing element that is perfect for this at the moment. Not only are we gearing up for high season, but we also have two hotel openings. Right. So there is a very robust opportunity that is probably a little bit healthier than in the past for an event such as this. So I believe that it is. We're all very excited about it.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we want to hear some more from the Deputy Premier and Minister responsible for Tourism and Trade, Honourable Rutty. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, we have the Deputy Premier, Honourable Rutty, Minister Michael Myles, Miss Sharlene Brenkus from the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, and Chief Officer in the Deputy Premier's Ministry, Mr. Strand Bodden. going to throw the mic over to you, Deputy Premier.
Yeah, Mr. Connor, thank you much there again, sir. I just also want to make a special mention and thank you to Miss Sharlene. She has a full-time job, and the last several months she has come on board with us so strong to help, get Caymanians back in the tourism industry, helping with these job fairs and calling a lot of meetings. So I also just want to thank your employer for giving you the time off to help us with our product. There, we look back at what you said about August in 1966. That was about 5 months before I was born. And you talk about Teacher McFeel.
Mm-hmm.
And what is special there, it was a Caymanian that was teaching and training our tourism product. And we've kind of gotten away from that. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the function for Miss Tahiti Seymour, John's daughter in Bodentown, and I was sitting there, talking with everyone, and I spoke to the young lady who was first runner-up. Her name is Genesis Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what do you do? She said, I work at a law firm. And I said, oh, really? I said, which one? She told me. I said, I know the managing partner very well, good friend of mine. I said, is that what you want to do? She said, well, I actually studied hospitality management.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, how do you go from hospitality management to the financial industry? And I guess, you look at the opportunities that that are there, but the opportunities in the tourism sector, I would say, outweigh the financial. There's so many more. So going back to the lady, Genesis, I spoke to her, and I said, I would like to invite you in to come to the ministry, come to the department. You have a degree in hospitality management. Let us know why and how we can help you to maybe make a change. So she's agreed to come in and have a meet with us. And I've also passed out her resume to a couple companies right now, because if we're going to invest that, she's going to invest her time to go for that degree. We need her front and center.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many more Caymanians. We spend a lot of money on scholarships. They need to come home and they need to help us promote this industry, because this industry is special. Cayman is special. What we have here, there's no other place in the world like what we have to offer. And, Mr. Myles and Minister Myles and I, we ran together and we share the same mindset. How do we get our Caymanians back in these positions and make it attractive? It's not about making beds and vacuuming floors when it comes to the hotel industry. We can go on, there's air conditioning, there's plumbing, there's accounting, there's marketing. There's so many different careers that you can take. I was at the Kimpton a couple of weeks ago, and the general manager told me there was 48 different opportunities, careers that you could choose within his hotel. So I went over to the Ritz-Carlton, and Mark Langevin, he can't be outdone. So he said, oh, no, there's a lot more than that. But he also has a golf course and many others. But you can get into mechanics. There's just so many opportunities. But we need to cease, and we need to make sure that we take it up.
Mm-hmm.
When I started back in 1989, I came home from college, and I knocked on the door 7 o'clock in the morning. The manager greeted me. He gave me a broom. So I said, well, what am I supposed to do with this? He said, I need you to go clean the parking lot. I said, no, I didn't come to clean the parking lot. I came to be the manager. He said, you'll get there one day, but you go start in the parking lot. So I'm out there cleaning up the parking lot, sweeping up, And I was like, what in the world have I done? I'm like, no, man, there's got to be something better. So I started from there, and, I worked my way up. And once you learn a business, no one can come and tell you how to do it or when to do it if you've already done it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to have a humble start. Some people start at a higher position, but at the end of the day, you have to appreciate what was the opportunity that was afforded to you, and you got to make the best of it. And if you want to succeed in life, you're going to work past that broomstick, and one day you're going to hold the key for the door. And it's just so many departments you can go through, but we go back with what we're doing here, the job fairs and stuff. I want, and it's my intention, to see more Caymanians involved with our tourism product, whether it's back of the house, front of the house, on the beach, on the golf course, or in the office. We need to get the 250 people back in our industry and helping. I know Mr. Myles is helping with with the training, but I said at the end of the day, I want these 250 people to take on these positions, and they become trainers. Caymanians, training our product, because I go back, Cayman is a special place. There's no other place like it, and there's no other person that should be helping to deliver this product than a Caymanian. But we also have to make sure that we keep up with the standards that our guests expect to receive here, because they come here to this country and they go back and, I've told everybody the first thing that I want our visitors to do when they're checking out is looking at the next time that they can come back, because the experience they had in Cayman is the best, and they don't want to look anywhere else except coming here to enjoy Cayman with the Caymanians.
Ms. Brenkus, the Ms. Ryan that the Deputy Premier referred to, how has the industry been able to miss candidates like her? How would you not be aware of the fact that we have someone who has a degree in tourism management?
Well, there's a few ways that I can think of that a viable candidate would be missed. One is that we don't know when those children are off to school what they're majoring in, and that they've actually graduated in that discipline. Having that information, obviously, from an industry perspective, is incredibly valuable. Speaking from personal experience, I will tell you that, that is incredibly attractive for us in the industry. So really being aware, and secondly is having, as those students come back, is having those students apply for jobs. What tends to happen, Cayman is very unique, very special, in that in most other tourism-centric environments or islands, tourism is a major part of the GDP of an island. Cayman is special. You have the financial services, and there are times where it's very difficult to compete with that from an entry level perspective, in terms of your earning and your compensation perspective. If you're chasing the money, sometimes that's going to win over thinking about starting from the ground up and building a career path. And so, these are some of the challenges that that I have children in their 20s that are considering that have the same considerations. And so, but when we hear about those individuals, we tend to take the same tact as the DP here, and that's to approach them to say, hey, if you really would like if you're interested in a career path in our industry, please come talk to us.
Okay, Mr. Myles.
So what I've done is a little bit different when we recreated my ministry. Over the last 2 months, we assembled all of the training centers, and we also assembled all of the universities on island, all in one space. Based on my understanding, this has never been done. The one thing that I wanted to do was understand the labor pool, and as Sharlene rightfully said, the information from the Scholarship Secretariat isn't shared with anyone. It's not shared with WORC either. So Minister Anglin and I are certainly working on that, because in order for us to look at how deep our labor pool is, we have to know who's overseas, we have to know who's at UCCI, and we have to know who's coming out of the Caymanian Further Education Center. So the strategy has to be changed. So when I got all of these organizations in the same room, the first thing that I said to them was, how do we share information? How do we share the information that all of you guys have? Because not one of those organizations have or share a database. UCCI doesn't share a database with ICCI, right? And then you have other training organizations in Cayman. We came up with over 200 plus names. That's what we're hosting on the first day, on September 8th. All of those students were shortlisted by those providers, and then 99% of those students were on some sort of either academic scholarship or they were on some sort of TVET scholarship. So we want to make sure that we focus on those students. Secondly, we want to ensure that we have a pathway guidance document. So I'm assembling in partnership with the private sector. We're putting together a workforce development task force. That is actually one of the things that we're actually also putting in the new reform of our immigration law, because now is the time that we start to connect jobs or career paths with the people that we have. And I'll go a little bit further, OC. Currently, our country has been very generous with scholarships. The DP's organization, the Ministry of Tourism, have a scholarship program. The Ministry of Education has a deep scholarship program. We give away on any given year, and it's now up to almost approximately $40 million a year. Currently, we have over 950 plus students going overseas. We have not done a good job as a government successively across the spectrum when it comes to sharing information with who is in what school overseas. When are they coming back? And Sharlene is right. If we knew, if I can say to her now, the youngsters that just graduated from UCCI, there's about 17 or 18 young people that graduated from UCCI with a certification in hospitality management or something like that. Sharlene doesn't know those people, right? Well, why not? The moment that they signed their scholarship contract, that information should have been sent to CITA, and those kids should have been engaged from there. And then over the next year, those students should have been placed in some sort of internship. What we are doing, unfortunately, that I believe that's just simply wrong, because most countries don't do this, we are holding these kids in a academic unit for an entire year. So that's all they do. Whereas in all the other countries, what's happening is that they do 2 years at school, and they do 2 days at school and 3 days within an actual training program within the industry. So whether that's hospitality, whether that is the water sports industry, I mean, it's all part of the tourism industry, whether that's simply in transportation, whether that is in the ministry helping with policy, those students should have been exposed to something. Unfortunately, those students graduated, I think, in June, and all of a sudden the market starts to decline. So no one is hiring in June, July, and August, right? So those kids are sitting. So we have wasted a lot of money to send those kids to that program for an entire year, only for them to remain unemployed. Now let's amplify that by the 900 plus students that are now going overseas in September. When those students come back in, let's say, May or June of next year, and I don't know those names, how do we plan for them? What if at least 100 of those students are studying hospitality management or something in a hospitality field? What then? What if they're studying education? I have no clue. So Minister Anglin and I are rectifying that, because information must be shared with my unit or my organization for me to start to look at what that labor pool looks like. So you're right, and Sharlene hit on this as well. There has to be a better communication plan, and we have to now get strategic with how we transition young people from either a training program or an academic component into the job market.
Okay. With that, folks, we're going to our headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, the conversation will continue. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Police say around 10:15 on Saturday, emergency responders were sent to a report of, quote, serious stabbing at a home on Doubletree Lane. Police were told a man and woman were fighting when a, quote, juvenile male tried to intervene and was attacked by the man. The suspect later turned himself into police, where he was arrested on suspicion of wounding with intent. The boy was treated for serious but non-life-threatening injuries and later released from the hospital. In international news, more than 800 people have died after a magnitude 6.0 earthquake hit eastern Afghanistan. The quake struck at a shallow depth of 8 kilometers, that's about 5 miles, which can be more destructive, and shook buildings from Kabul to Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. The remoteness of the areas are making assessment of the damage difficult. Masses are feared trapped under the rubble, while officials report entire villages as being destroyed. And the European Commission says a navigation system of a plane carrying Ursula von der Leyen was disrupted due to, quote, suspected Russian interference. A spokesperson said the GPS jamming happened while the commission president was about to arrive in southern Bulgaria on Sunday, but she still landed safely. They added, quote, "We have received information from the Bulgarian authorities that they suspect this was due to blatant interference by Russia." The Financial Times, citing unnamed sources, reported that von der Leyen's plane had to land in Plovdiv Airport with the pilots using paper maps. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio with me, we have Deputy Premier and Minister with Responsibility for Tourism and Trade, Honourable Gary Rutty, Honourable Michael Myles, Minister with Responsibility for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Miss Sharlene Brenkus from the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, Mr. Strand Borden, who's the Chief Officer in Minister and Deputy Premier's office as well. I did encourage people to send in their questions and or comments as well. This one is fairly long, but I'll read very quickly. Person says, would you please forward this verbally to your guests if they can check this out with the relevant department or determine if this is factual? Thank you. We'd like to state that when there was an open opportunity about 2 years ago at one of the hotels on 7 Mile Beach, I was in attendance with a young lady who was very keen on tourism. However, met with various heads of the hotels. The applications were completed and chats with the representatives. However, no replies were received by anyone. However, there are some concerns with heads of the hotels and being on the boards of the labor, etc. Sometimes it's a conflict of interest. Thank you. I worked at the Holiday Inn for 13 years as a cocktail server, leaving there to work for the immigration department, as well.
I can say for a fact that there's no heads of any hotel on the 4 boards that we have, for a fact. So I also want to state that I am not naive to think that there's not been a lot of issues within the hospitality industry. There is. I hear it every single day. I get calls from folks from within the industry. I hear the levels of folks who are being mistreated, who believe that they're being denied opportunities. There is a lot of work to be done, and we can't sit around the table and pretend that there's not work to be done in terms of bridging the divide between our people and the folks and careers within the industry. But we need to start from somewhere. Now, I understand, folks have had bad experiences in the past. I am not saying that there's still not going to be some of that, but our responsibility now is to make sure that there are collaboration between the Caymanian Tourism Association, my organization, and DP Rutty's organization as well, to bridge that divide. We have to open up lines of communication, and we have to start to get this right. Are there going to be challenges? I can tell you without a doubt there's going to be challenges. People are not going to believe that this is going to work. But in order for it to work, people are going to have to come on board. What I also want to say as well going into this 2 days is that we have to have folks dressed appropriately coming in for these opportunities. You cannot wear shorts and a t-shirt because everyone in those sessions are going to be interviewed. This is a professional environment. I'm asking all Caymanians who are going to be attending these sessions, please come dressed appropriately. Please also bring your resume. This is about opportunities to get involved in a career path. This is not about us coming in and hang out. Another thing that I want to ensure that Caymanians have a clear understanding about, I need you to register on the Jobs Cayman portal. It's the only way for my administrators, it's the only way for my boards to hold hotels and any other institution under CITA accountable for hiring Caymanians. As I've said, I am not naive to think that this is all going to be hugs and kisses and, everyone is just going to just believe that this is going to work. It is not like that. We have to work together in order to make it work, and I'm willing to come to the table to make the stuff work, and CITA is saying we want to make it work too. So the goal for me is to collaborate with the organization and their members to make this work the best way that we know how. There's always going to be the naysayers that are saying it doesn't matter what we do. I get it. But I have to believe that we, while working together, is going to make sure that we do this to the best of our ability. I will also say that challenges are in all industries. I've also worked in the insurance industry. There were challenges there. I've also worked, in government. There's loads of challenges there too. So every industry is going to have its own challenges when it comes to employment. I have a lot of people call me on a regular basis to say, I've applied to lots of jobs in the government and I still haven't gotten a call back. So I'm not here to narrow all the issues back or down to just the tourism industry. I'm simply saying we need to make it work to the best of our ability. There are 600 plus jobs that are coming in line by the end of this year, and I am going to do my darndest to make sure that every Caymanian that wants to work in the tourism industry and have a career is moving towards having a career.
Okay, one of our listeners has written and said, we applaud the efforts of the government, that the government is making in getting Caymanians trained and ready to work. For years, government has given scholarships for Caymanians to work in the tourism, hospitality industry, yet we seem to see fewer Caymanians there. Can you please confirm if efforts have been made to reach out to government scholarship recipients who are graduating or recently graduated so that they can fill the upcoming positions at the Grand Hyatt? And there was another question similar to that one, and that had to do with recent high school graduates, what is being done to sort of get them into positions in some of these new openings that will be coming as well.
So we've reached out to over, as I said, previously, I got all of the organizations that do training in the Cayman Islands, from universities to all of the training programs in the Cayman Islands, from Cayman Career Academy to PWD, because again, we have a number of young people there that are doing construction and lots of different areas. And we got probably about 30 people in the room, including our team at work. We've narrowed it down. All of those folks went back to their respective organizations and they provided approximately 200 names. Those 200 young people who were, I would say 99% of them are on some sort of scholarship from the Cayman Islands government, have been and will be invited to Monday's session. They have been pre-screened by their respective organizations, and that's why we're having a session for them specifically on Monday. On Tuesday, it is an open house with everyone else. We want to get over approximately, anyways, 450 Caymanians between the Monday and the Tuesday. In addition to that, we have 2 hotels that's coming online, Grand Hyatt, and we also have one GT. We have identified about 40 students or 40 people who came from these training centers on UCCI to have interviews on the 4th and 5th of this week. So everything of what we're doing right now is based on a strategy. I have no time to sit down and talk about work permits. I've had conversations with Grand Hyatt. I've had conversations with one GT, and I've made it very clear. The goal is you're hiring our people. In the event that we that you need additional people, we will sit down and look at what that is and grant the work permits. I've also met with all of our boards. I've met with our department, and I've made it very clear to them. The goal is Caymanians are going to be hired. And if Caymanians can't be hired, then no one is going to be hired. Because our responsibility is to make sure that our people are prioritized. People have had enough. We cannot say that we're going to have 600 jobs coming online, Caymanians aren't hired, and then we are going to pay out more welfare? Like, that is not the strategy for us going forward. So work permit fees is not important to this government. What is important to this government is employment for Caymanians. And I can't say that enough, because I know that there has been a trend over successive governments that we focus on collecting work permit fees. That is not my focus. What DP Rutty's focus is, and roping Miss Sharlene and her team in this, is making sure that Caymanians are back on the front lines of this. It is not easy. I don't expect it to be easy. I expect that there's going to be miscommunications, but my responsibility is to make sure that we're always at the table, respecting that Caymanians must be prioritized and pushing that forward.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, I want to hear from Ms. Sharlene and the Deputy Premier and Mrs. Strand-Barton as well, in terms of realistically, how can we realistically make these things happen? And like I said earlier, manage expectations as well. This person also has a question, and we can answer that when we return. They wanted to know whether or not the tourism event is for young people only, or are older Caymanians also encouraged to attend this event? Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
It's a sizzling summer with JN Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for 2 when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with JN Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with JN Money.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Sound like a broken record, but it is important to know because people join us at various junctures during the show. So in the studio, we have the Honorable Gera Rutty, Deputy Premier and Minister responsible for Tourism and Trade, Honorable Michael Myles, Minister with responsibility for Caymanian employment and immigration, Ms. Sharlene Brenkus, who is the president of the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, and Mr. Strand Barton, the chief officer in the ministry. Before we went to the commercial break, the question was, how realistic can we be? How can we make all of those things in terms of Caymanian employment? How can we bring them to reality? And then we also had the question in relation to whether or not this two-day event is focused towards young people only, or whether or not older Caymanians should apply. And also, Minister Myles, despite the fact that you did explain why the two-day event and why the 250 invitees in the first instance as opposed to the second date where people who have an interest can go on and register as well. So all of those things we want to discuss. Let's start with managing expectations again. And at the end of the day, what is it that you want to accomplish?
So as far as managing expectation, we're moving through the process, right? And just the beginning of the process is the two-day event, and the commitment of all of these organizations to show up, be there. Everybody's, the beauty of the event at the moment is that we are actually having the organizations call us and say, "Can we participate?" That's a huge thing. Red Sail was probably one of the first ones to say, "Hey, I read about this in the newspaper. Can we be part of this?" I'm like, "Of course you can be part of this." And so it's a fairly simplistic footprint in terms of what that process looks like, and really it's about the candidates showing up, and then matching the talent and the people to the positions that are available. So moving through that process is very important, and everyone on the organization side is committed to doing that. I believe, that's work. I mean, it's a collaborative effort. That's why we're putting it together, and, we are committed to the process.
Okay. Deputy Premier, Mr. Barton, anything you want to add there?
Yes, sir. Mr. Connor, thank you. I just want to say, Minister Myles talked about, the fair that we're putting on. Come prepared. Pull your pants up, tuck your shirt in. Mm-hmm. This is your time to shine and show us that you're serious. When we bring people on, we want you to do your part, and we want you to come prepared. Because at the end of the day, you just not represent yourself, you represent the Cayman Islands. Anytime you welcome someone through those doors, you're representing the people from Cayman, you're representing our product. We have to make sure that we present the best possible experience for the visitors that are coming in there. When I got elected, or when we took office, I should say, I reached out to Minister Myles. I said, "Mike, I need to do my favor." He said, "Yeah, what do you need?" I said, "I want to go and tour some of the hotels, not all of the hotels, but I want you to come in with someone because I want to see what our guests are experiencing. I want to see who's providing it. And I want you on the Labour side to sit down and see what we can do to help them with their needs." He said, "Sure, happy to go with you." The response has been very, very welcoming, and in particular, we went to the Marriott, and I have to say that was like the second stop that we did, and what they do there, and they've been struggling as well because they've had the beach issues. They're down from 400 employees to I think it's 240, and 50% of those are Caymanians. It's an outside issue that they face right now, but we as a government intend to fix it and help them take care of getting the beach renourished because we're also losing revenue as a country. Not only that, but we lost employments for 50% Caymanian right there of those who have been displaced. But we go to the Grand Hyatt, and we did a tour through that place, and we told the general manager, he said, whatever we can do to help you, we're here for you. But we want to see our Caymanians be given the opportunity. They've come on board. Everyone is coming on board because they realize at the end of the day what we have to fix and what we have to present to our folks, and also, most importantly, the visitors that are coming in here. We want to give them that true Caymanian experience. I'm looking forward for this fair coming up. I think, the response will be overwhelming, and I know we're going to put a lot of, time and effort, but this government that we've, formed for the people of the Cayman Islands, we're working collaboratively every day. Because tourism, I go to Minister Anglin, I go to Minister Jay, I go to Minister Catherine. There's so many issues that we all, face, and we come together to make sure that we can fix these issues and provide what's best for the Caymanians and our visitors alike. And I can honestly say the unity that we have, and I mean, people in that building 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. This morning I showed up at 6 o'clock. I was frightened half to death of the traffic, but I had to make sure I was prepared for you. And but it's a good group that we have here, and we continue to push forward to make sure that we provide the opportunities, and our fellow Caymanians are benefiting, and also our guests are getting that true Cayman experience.
Mr. Strand?
Thank you, Mr. Osei. Following on from what Deputy Premier just said, with the tours of the various hotel properties and tourism-related businesses, it heartens me to see that the Caymanians that are working in tourism, whether we go into hotels or other types of businesses, we see the Caymanians working there. We went to one major hotel, and there was a server there, a young man. I knew his parents, I know his grandparents, and the kind of service that he brought to us that day was really Caymanian and Cayman kind. It was really nice to see. Other hotels met with the HR folks there, Caymanians, talking about the needs that they have and what they need to deliver their service. Really heartening again to see Caymanians in non-service roles like HR. Other Caymanians that I know of have went through various programs that the government offers. Started as low down as on the scale of as bus boys, but they've went up the chain now, and they're at a level. I wouldn't want to say too much to that invited person, but they're now training restaurant managers. That's a success story in Caymanians. We need to have more of those. With working with Minister Myles' ministry, we're going to see more of those. So the collaboration is here. You need to, Caymanians, I would say, you need to come out to the fair on the 8th and the 9th. As DP said, come dressed to impress and make that impact. The hoteliers and the tourism-related businesses will be there, so come out, be prepared to put your best foot forward and take advantage of the opportunities that we are creating here for Caymanians.
Mm-hmm. One question that has cropped up on the various comments that have been made has to do with how can those persons who need assistance in terms of preparing a CV, whether or not any assistance is being offered to them, say for this occasion. I responded and say that work does assist with that, and there are several other organizations in the Cayman Islands that do assist as well, but I'm not sure that there's anything that is specifically geared towards this. I know, Minister Myles, that you mentioned that work representatives will be there to help persons to register on the jobs website as well.
Yes, but and if someone, and it's a great question to the folks who provided you that WhatsApp. If you need help with your resume, please send your resume to me, michael.myles@gov.ky. I will arrange for someone to sit with you and help you with your resume. Again, my email is michael.myles@gov.ky. We have folks who've contacted me who simply want to help, and we will do whatever we can to get you in so we can get you the help that you need to sort your resume out. I wanted to pick up on a point that Sharlene made about Red Sail. Yesterday, my wife coordinated a sort of back to school trip for my two daughters. One is going back to school to get her master's, and my 11-year-old is going to prep. She starts prep high school actually today. And so we were on the Red Sail morning cruise. And there was a young man there. I'm not going to call his name because I don't want to embarrass him any. But he was absolutely, and I've been on this cruise a couple of times, and he was part of the team there. He's been at Red Sail, according to what I enjoyed watching him interact with the tourists that was on the cruise. And he said that he's been doing this for 14 years. He said, this is all I know. This is what he was saying to the many tourists that he was interacting with. Personality was an absolute charm. To watch this youngster maneuver the crowd, manage people's expectations in that trip, create a dynamic experience was an absolute joy to watch him. I felt Caymanian just watching this young man just dazzle these people in his just natural whole environment, right? But he said, this is all I know. I love this job, right? That is what I believe what we can create with a tourism experience. And that is going to come down to us putting funds in training. It is going to come down to ensuring that our young people that are attending tourism-related studies at UCCI have a pathway the moment that they sign their letter of intent, the moment that they start their program at UCCI, they should have an internship immediately. If we don't do that, it makes no sense to give those kids a scholarship. It makes absolutely no sense. So those are the things that I want to work with certainly DP and his team on, and Ms. Sharlene and her team on, because it has to be now where, as you are getting your tourism-related qualification, you should be in the industry. It's why Minister Anglin and I are working on making sure that all of the information of scholarship students is provided to me, so I understand the market, the labor market. If I don't know who's coming back in the next year, how do I help them with employment, right? If they're plopping down here in May or June, how do I make sure that they at least have an internship or an apprenticeship? So a lot of it is, well, that we've caused this on ourselves, because even as a government, we're still too siloed. And if we are siloed, I can't imagine what Sharlene and her team have gone through of trying to get information from the government, because I couldn't get information unless the minister stepped in and said, yes, Michael needs to have this information to help these kids get employment, right? So the expectations has to be all the way around. DP mentioned something earlier as well. People have to come to these sessions with the intention of not just participating, of competing. Mm-hmm. Our people have to start to compete. You cannot come with the expectation that someone's going to give you a job. Mm-hmm. You have to come to impress a business owner and let them know what you're capable of. It is the one thing that I say to all young people: no one's going to give you anything. Now, I'm behind you, but you are going to dress appropriately. You are going to make sure that your resume is in good shape. You are going to walk into that place on time. You are going to sit down and listen to what those sessions are in terms of the career path, and then you're going to interact. You're not there to hang out. You're simply there to make sure you come there for employment. That's what we want, and we will back you. But quite often, people are coming in there simply just to hang out and hand out resumes. I want people to come in and compete, and I want to make sure, because I'm going to be there, right? I want to make sure that we're there to support our people. But I need folks to come in there with the expectation they're coming to compete for a job as well.
First impression is so important. When we return, one of our listeners has expressed the concern about moving forward when those job applications are being considered. They're curious to know how fair it is and what expectations, or how can you reduce the skepticism that someone who's looking at their application is a work permit holder and would have, at the end of the day, a vested interest in ensuring that those jobs are not filled by Caymanians. How do we address that? Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit cineco.ky for a quote. That's cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or belly fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
It's a sizzling summer with JN Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with JN Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with JN Money.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about a two-day event that is taking place on the 8th and 9th of this month. It will be taking place at the Marriott. It is in conjunction with the Cayman Islands Tourism Association, Workforce Opportunities and Residency, Cayman Islands as well. It's called the Tourism and Hospitality Open House. That will be on Tuesday, and of course on Monday it will be for 250 invited participants, and Minister Myles has already spoken about that. Also, if you're just joining us in the studio, we have the Deputy Premier and Minister, Honorable Gary Rutty, Minister Michael Myles, Miss Sharlene Brenkus, and Mr. Strand Borden as well. Before I pass the mic over to the Deputy Premier, and I must say our listeners, they listen and some of them can really give us good feedback. We had a question in relation to assistance with resumes, and one of our listeners has pointed out and says, Connect by Nova, which is an NGO. It is supported by government. They also do resume writing for young people.
Yep. And as I said, I will help as well. I have at least 2 people that have contacted me about volunteering to help with folks who need help with their resumes.
Excellent, excellent. DP, over to you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Conner, I just want to touch on that point, sir. Talking about resumes, show up. Show us you're interested. Show us what you're all about. Then we can discuss that. Everything doesn't have to be on paper. We just need you in person. I want to go back and talk about the scholarships. So many of these companies and businesses on this island, including the hotel industry or tourism industry, is blessed because this country provides tens of millions of dollars in scholarships for education. I think we had 950 going overseas right now. And I think within the tourism industry, we do around $1 million. This is such a blessing because they don't have to worry about educating them. They don't have to worry about a lot of training. We're paying for it. What we need to give our people the opportunity, make them prove themselves, an investment that we as a country have invested in our people. Let them come back and express that knowledge here, whether it's in banking, whether it's in accounting, but we could stick with tourism, whether more so in tourism. Give them the opportunity that we are paying for and we're investing. Adam Stewart, I saw a post a couple of days ago from Sandals, and Sandals is one of the flagship, if not the flagship, resort destination in the Caribbean. And there was a post, I think, where he said that they employ 97 or 98% Caribbean people. We need to follow suit as well because it shows that the people from the Caribbean are willing to produce and provide this service. I'd like to see 97, 98% Caymanians. Is it doable? It's a tall task, but we will try because we know the amount of people involved in the industry right now and the amount of Caymanians that are there. But we need to make it appealing. Being in the tourism industry and working in a hotel is just, like I say, it's not about all beds and vacuuming floors. There's so many other benefits that you get that the package, say for instance, when you get a 2-week vacation, if you want to take your family to the States someplace, the hotel chain, if it's a major chain that you work with, they will offer you packages as like friends and family discounts, $25, $35 a night. If you can take your family 3 or 4 on a vacation and pay, just put it $50 a night for a hotel, the savings for that 2 weeks is so instrumental for you and the quality time you can get to share with your family and give them a little break, take them to see something new. Tourism industry. You meet someone every day that's new and you learn something new about them or a different culture. It is an education that you walk into every day. It is not a demanding job. It is appealing. And anyone who can, come in and welcome our guests as a Caymanian, the benefits that will far outweigh the positions that you can start in. And like I say, you can climb the ladder. There's more than one position there. There's more than one career path you can take. And if you go in and you're not happy, you just go to HR or you go to the manager and say, listen, I know I signed up for this, but I kind of look like what my colleague over here, I'm interested in that. It is just not, a one-way track. There's various, tiers that you can take in the hotel industry. And we talk about the water sports as well, because you speak about Red Sail. I mean, you go in, it's just not about all tour guides. It is about maintenance of the boats. It's booking. It's accounting. That just alone in the water sports industry. I've known many Caymanians who started out, for, say, maintenance at Red Sail and some of the Don Fosters and other big companies, and they've gone on now to open up their own businesses and are thriving. But those businesses gave them a chance, and they excel. I know it's a huge loss to them, but that's the risk you take of being in business. If you hire someone good, they'll produce for you, but at the end of the day, to hold them is going to be tough. But I always like to see my fellow Caymanians striving hard and working hard to get to that next tier, next level, and for them to own their own businesses and that they can call it theirs is really what all success is all about.
Yeah. So, Ms. Brenkus, in relation to the perceived or could possibly be real, depending on who you speak to and the experience that they have had when that Caymanians feel whether or not they're being treated fairly when their applications are being vetted.
So I'm going to answer this as though I was speaking to I have 3 children in their 20s, and finding a job in this climate is not easy. And it's always, from the perspective that the best advice, and that is proven based on the fact that I'm also an operator, not just a mother, is that if you show up, you have the drive to make it clear that you're not just interested in a job, you're interested in coming to work, having a real job, having a career, having the drive to be part of an organization. There may not be a position available at that particular time. And I'm talking in general. I'm not talking about Monday and Tuesday. I'm speaking in general terms.
But I'm speaking more in relation to applications that are being submitted for, let's say, for instance, the renewal of a work permit, and a Caymanian who has applied for it, not just an opening position, but a position that exists already.
So we're not talking about just Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm specifically referring to showing up to Monday and Tuesday. Specifically, it's a captive audience, right? All of the businesses are there. They have open positions. If you're serious about a position, and if you're serious about being employed by that specific organization, make it clear, right? It really is about articulating or, specifically asking for that job. And because what happens more times than not is when we're moving through that process, how we move through the process is you apply for a position. You come in, we interview you. If we feel that we really like you, but that might not be the right fit, what we do is we basically say, okay, by the way, this might not be the right thing for you. However, we think you would be really great at this. So, and most of the employers and most of the HR team is conditioned to do exactly that. And so as it relates specifically to Monday or Tuesday, I would, again, you're not just showing up, you're showing up.
Yeah.
From the perspective of being considered, every organization, I can't speak about every organization. Sure. I can speak about mine. And I can speak to the conversations that have been had in terms of the intent and the desire to employ as many Caymanians as possible and putting them into the right positions to set everyone up for success, not just the candidate, but the organizations. So, I can't, that's a very broad question. And I know, again, specifically speaking for us, when we have a position that's available and there is a Caymanian applicant, that basically becomes our first priority, is to make sure that we are vetting them and that we are considering the option.
Because every work permit that is being held, that position really is available to a Caymanian, because on every renewal you have to advertise, and Caymanians are given that opportunity, to apply. So they're all available.
Right, and I believe that process is followed. I can't speak to the bad, I can't speak to the back. There's always, every industry has them, right? And then the conversation is about enforcement and whatnot. But I believe that the intentions are to do the right thing.
Okay, Mr. Ma.
And that's, just picking up from what Sharlene just said. As I said, I'm not under an illusion that there's no challenges within the system. Certainly before my time, we've inherited a system that only focuses on processing work permits. We're flipping the script on that system. The system today is about Caymanian employment. And while that may not be popular amongst a number of folks out there that have their own agenda, the goal is right now is making sure that Caymanians understand that we back them, but they have to step up, as DP said. They have to step up and now do their part. I can't help someone if they're sitting in their room playing a video game and refuse to come out and participate within the sessions that we're providing. I can't help someone that simply just want to sit down and complain about what the system is. I just want to make sure that I also highlight no one doesn't have to tell me what the problems are in our country. I've lived it. Every single day I've lived it. I've been in youth development. I've worked with hundreds of at-risk young people and their families for 3 decades. So no one don't have to tell me what their challenges are. No one don't have to tell me that there's a level of prejudice in our country against our people. I've experienced it. I've seen our people experience it. So no one don't have to tell me about those things. The responsibility right now is how do we move forward? How do we collaborate with CITA as a renewed partnership? How do we outline the terms of how our engagement is going to be? How does CITA hold us accountable for providing them with information? And how do we hold CITA accountable for ensuring that they have our people's best interests at heart? Because like I said to all of the hotels, prove it to me and to our country that this renewed focus on hiring Caymanians is genuine. But you cannot come to me and say, well, I now need hundreds of work permits when obviously we've had a phenomenal outpour of people saying, I am willing to do this job, and you simply don't want to do that. I'm holding everyone accountable, including myself, to support our people moving forward. So everyone has an opportunity now in the hospitality industry to step up to the plate and do the right thing. Other than that, it then becomes to where we would have poisoned the very system that people are saying that they want to operate in. I want to ensure that everything is moving forward nicely, certainly with communication. I'm going to give and take when it comes to what CITA is requesting of us, and I'm going to ask CITA to give and take towards what we want, and that is our people on the front lines of the industry. So there is all of this way around. Another major thing that we are doing is making sure that we are matching the employment sector or the labor market demands with scholarships. It's never been done. What we have done is simply give a lot of scholarships out, tapped ourselves in the back, and basically said, job well done. The job isn't well done until that scholarship recipient is in employment.
Connect the dots.
Right?
Got to connect the
We
dots.
have to move it further. So I have all of the boards involved, and not all of our immigration boards are now involved in moving the agenda forward of holding employers accountable. The employers now are on board and saying, we want Caymanians. Great. Now the last thing is to say to our people, come to the event dressed appropriately with the intentions of competing for a job. We will back you. We will do everything we possibly can to get you across the finish line. If you need help between now and the 8th and 9th, please give my office a call so we can find out what that help looks like, so we can make sure that you are set come the morning of the 8th and the morning of the 9th. Please get there on time. The sessions start at 9 o'clock. I'm not asking you to stay there all day if that's not what you need to do. Once at least the session that Ms. Sharlene and her team will be running is the more critical session that I believe is understanding the career paths within the tourism industry. I really want our people to see this because it's a new format of how we're rolling this stuff out. And in all of the recruitment processes going forward, I will be asking industries to show Caymanians where the development process is, rather than coming out and saying, I want to hire you, and then you're stuck in a dead-end job that you feel that you can't get out of. But the process itself currently is broken. We have to improve it by communication, by renewed commitment, and by basically saying to ourselves, we're going to hold the line rather than pushing the line back and getting desperate. The tourism industry is picking back up in a few months, so we have time. So this is our time now to communicate what we want from our people and help them along the way.
Okay, we want to go around the table to give everyone an opportunity for some closing comments. And the Deputy Premier did mention something about Adam Stewart and their 90-something% hiring of locals. But we should also acknowledge the fact that a lot of that hiring has to do with the government policies in those countries under which Sandals operates, as well. So that's important, for us to acknowledge. So, Mr. Strand, we're going to start with you. We're going to go around.
Thank you very much,
the
Mr.
table.
Ossie. Just left for me to say to the listening public, share all the information you've heard today with your family and friends. If they've had or have an interest in working in hospitality, share with them that the event is next week, September 8th and 9th. Come out, dress to impress, be ready to put your best foot forward to take advantage of the benefit that tourism brings to these islands. Thank you very much, Ossie.
Deputy Premier?
Yes, sir. Good morning again, Mr. Connor. Hello, Cayman, once more. I just want to thank, Sharlene and CITA and also Minister Myles for coming together and putting this much-needed fair together. It's an opportunity, that the government is going out for you, CITA's going out, and we want you to come and take full advantage of it, because this is your time to shine and show us that you're serious. We're serious here to give you the opportunity. Like I said, show up, dress to impress, pull your pants up, tuck your shirt in, and let's get a job and get back to work and give the guests the best possible experience that they can have in Cayman. Look forward to hearing more from everyone and how the fair goes. I will be there in and out. And if there's anything that we can do for you, and beside the government and CITA, please reach out to us. We're here for you, and let's continue to make Cayman the best product available.
Brenkus?
Thank you so much for having me this morning, Mr. Connor, and thank you to the both ministers and the DP and Mr. Strand, of course, for including us in the session. We really are looking forward to the collaboration and the open dialogue, but more importantly, we're very excited about Monday and Tuesday coming up.
Okay, Minister.
Thanks again. I appreciate the listen public tuning in, and thanks for Sharlene and her organization and for CITA as well to come to the table and meet with us. I believe the goal going forward now is to rewrite some of the wrongs that have happened over the last several years, and let's start afresh on what we want. I believe the mission has to be one that's shared between our private sector, our government sector, but also we have to share it with our people. And, I want to make sure that Kim and Brack and Lil Kim know that they're not being left out of this. We are doing this particular career orientation in our country. We're going to test drive it to see how it works. And then from there, we will be heading over to the Brack as well to move this forward, because there's a lot of opportunities over there within the hotel industry or even, within the tourism industry in general for folks who want to stay home in the Brack. I also want to thank all of the people that Sharlene has put together from the water sports organizations and hospital and hotels. I want to thank them for actually coming out and helping us host this. I want to thank the Marriott for giving us the free space in doing this, because I know things like this can get expensive. Sharlene has been a tremendous help. All of the things of what you see in front of you now, including how people sign up, Sharlene and her team has done that to move this forward. My team at WORC has also pitched in, but I also want to thank Miss Liz, who is my assistant. She's been an absolute gem in putting all of this stuff together as well. She's consistently drove this home. So I appreciate all of her support in this. I'm asking everyone to please come out and let's get this stuff done, because once the 8th and 9th are successful, we will be hosting as many of these every year going forward, because the time is right now that we amend relationships. And I say that with all of my heart. I know the challenges that have happened in the system between the government and politicians and the tourism industry. What I would like to do is start to amend relationships and improve how we interact with each other, because we are all here for our people. Mm-hmm. So thank you again to the Listen Public, Osina, as always. Thank you for always having us on and guiding the conversation.
Can we remind our listeners again, it's a 2-day event and what the 2 days are about?
Yes.
How do you register?
So we've been sending around the script of how you register. I know that everyone would have gotten that. My communications team is putting that in as many social media forums as we possibly can.
It's also on the Radio Cayman
also
Facebook page.
Absolutely.
The QR code. Yes.
Absolutely. It's on Works page as well. Please, 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 please register. It's the only way that I can help you. Not just register for the event on the 9th. For those of you who are coming on the 9th, please go on and register for that one. The 200 plus people who we've invited from all of our universities in high school and all of the folks that have come home permanently and we've shortlisted, please go ahead and register for the 8th. Our team will be sending that out to you guys as well. Please show up on time. It starts at 9. Please be there from about 8:30. Parking is always something to be challenging in the Marriott parking lot, so please make sure that you can show up on time. We are also going to be hosting or we're also going to be providing a number of foods and refreshments and so forth, so all of that stuff will be there, so please don't worry about stuff like that. Please come and enjoy, but I'm really asking for a massive turnout to show that we're going to be doing this as a country.
Okay, I want to thank everyone, for being here this morning and for the genuine effort that is being made in this area as well. One of our listeners wrote and said this is the systemic problem with the renewal of work permit advertisement is that an expatriate is usually identified and advertising is just a formality to comply with the immigration requirements. Just a comment. We can talk about that at another show. I want to thank all of our listeners this morning. We didn't open up the phone lines. I tried to share as many of your WhatsApp messages that you sent in somewhere along as well, so I had to try to paraphrase them. But thank you for engaging with our guests here in the studio. Let me remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Charlo, Mr. Charles Glidden at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these 3 beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
Amen.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And